What if the universe knew exactly what you needed, but could only deliver it once you stopped trying to control every little detail? Sometimes, the secret isn't doing more. It's trusting more. Sounds crazy, right? But maybe what you're missing isn't more effort. It's listening, letting go, and easing up on the emotional control. Because deep down, the universe is speaking. The question is, are you listening? No, this isn't some astrology talk or cheap magic. It's about realizing that there's an intelligence behind the coincidences, the unexpected connections, even the silent moments. Have you noticed how, when you stop forcing things, they just start to flow? In this video, you'll discover how giving up the need to control everything might be the most powerful step you can take, and why trusting the universe isn't giving up, it's getting in sync. At some point in life, everyone's tried to control the future, planning every detail, predicting every move. But the truth is, the more we try to micromanage everything, the heavier it all feels. Ever felt that? That anxious wait for answers that never seem to come? Or that frustration when things don't go the way you hoped? Now think with me. How many times were you not even expecting it, and something amazing just happened? An invitation out of the blue. A meeting that changed everything. An idea that came to you in the shower. Coincidence? Luck? Maybe. But what if it's more than that? Some call it the universe, others say destiny, intuition, God, the flow. The name doesn't really matter. What matters is what happens when you start to tune in to that subtle movement of life. Science talks about it when studying the subconscious. Great leaders talk about it when they learn to delegate. And artists, when they say their best ideas just come to them. Trusting the universe doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means acting with intention, but without the obsession over control. It's like taking your hands off the wheel for just a second, and realizing there's another force helping guide you. In this video, we're going to explore how letting go of control might actually be the smartest, and even most productive, path to living with more ease, clarity, and purpose. The first big barrier between you and what the universe is trying to bring you is control. Humans love to believe they're in control of everything, but deep down, that desire comes from one place: the fear of getting it wrong. It's the fear of making the wrong decision, missing the timing, being judged. So we build perfect plans, strict schedules, rigid goals, and when something goes off script, boom, anxiety, frustration, guilt. But let me tell you a secret. The universe doesn't follow our plan. It follows the plan of expansion. Want an example? Think about someone who wants to change careers. They take courses, read everything, plan out every step. But then, an opportunity shows up, totally off script. And what do? They turn it down, because it wasn't what they imagined. And just like that, without even realizing it, they shut the exact door the universe had opened. It's like a GPS. Sometimes it recalculates the route, changes the direction. You might get annoyed, but you still end up in the right place. And often, you get there with more ease. Like John Lennon said, life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. And when we let go of control, when we release the rigidity, it has to be this way, life starts to dance with us. But then comes the inevitable question. If control isn't what guides our steps, then what does? When control lets go of the wheel, something else takes over. Spiritual intuition. But let's clear this up right away. Intuition isn't some mystical thing or a gift for the chosen few. Intuition is accumulated intelligence. It's your body, your soul, your story. sending you signals before your rational mind can explain. You know that time you turned down an offer and didn't really know why, and later realized it was the best decision of your life, or that friendship that felt off from the start and eventually disappointed you exactly like you sensed it would. That's practical spirituality. It's trusting the subtle, the non-obvious. A lot of leaders and entrepreneurs talk about this. Steve Jobs once said, "Intuition is more powerful than intellect." And Einstein, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant." The problem is, we've flipped the roles. We've put the servant on the throne and silenced the sacred. So in the middle of life's chaos, all the decisions and doubts, we ask ourselves, now what? Now. It's time to listen. Intuition doesn't shout. It whispers. That's why it only shows up when you quiet down, when you breathe, when you slow down and surrender. But maybe you're thinking, okay, but how do I actually start trusting this invisible flow? Well, to trust, you have to believe that there is something much bigger than us, a cosmic force, an energy, something that guides every planet, every being. And to feel that, you don't need total isolation. You just need to stop trying to control everything. You don't have to drop everything and go meditate in the Himalayas to live a spiritually detached life. Honestly, it starts right here, right now, in the little things of your day. It's when you lose your house keys, and instead of getting angry and cursing the universe, you take a breath, you smile, and you trust that, for some reason, this is happening for you. It might sound silly, but it's in moments like that where you train your emotional control. It's like going to the gym. Nobody starts out lifting 200 pounds. You begin with the basics, repeat, and build strength. And the same goes for your spiritual side. Spiritual awakening isn't about grand rituals. It's about awareness in small, everyday actions. Want a practical example? Today, instead of just having coffee, make it a ritual. Feel the aroma, the warmth of the cup, the flavor. Do it in silence. Be present, and notice how something so simple can shift your internal state. These little gestures train your body and mind to trust more, to understand that recalculating the route isn't failure, it's flow. Because detachment doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of how exactly you thought things should happen. It's a practice, a conscious choice. And every time you let go of control with love, you get a little lighter. But then comes that inevitable moment. What about when it feels like everything is going wrong? Some days, we do everything right, and things still fall apart. The job offer doesn't come through. The relationship breaks down. The project you poured your soul into never gets off the ground. And then comes the question, is the universe testing me? Or worse, am I on the wrong path? But what if that no was actually a disguised yes? How many times have you gone through something frustrating, only to realize later it was actually protecting you? The truth is, the universe doesn't make mistakes. It just clears the path of what's not aligned with your next level. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Rejection is God's way of saying, wrong direction." And that's exactly it. A no to your request is often a big redirection. It may help you way more than getting a yes. Many times, the universe responds with silence, or with a sudden change of direction. And we, impatient as we are, call it failure. But it's not. It's the process. It's life saying, I know better. Trust me. This is a key point in self-awareness. To understand that you're not being punished. You're being guided. But to see that, you have to step out of your judging mind and into active trust. And that's where a lot of people get lost. Because they think trusting the universe means sitting back and doing nothing. But does it? Trusting the universe isn't being passive. It's not waiting for everything to fall into your lap and saying, if it's meant to be, it'll be, as an excuse to not take action. Trust is movement, with presence. It's taking action with intention, not desperation. It's aligning your energy, your focus, your discipline, but letting go of the attachment to the outcome. That's what we call active trust. Think of a surfer. He doesn't create the wave, but he trains, observes, paddles, and positions himself. When the wave comes, he's ready. And if it doesn't, he doesn't fight the ocean. He waits for the next one. That's the energy of conscious surrender. You act, but don't cling. You create, but don't obsess. You move, and trust that the universe knows the perfect timing. This mindset reduces anxiety, because you're no longer a prisoner of control. You don't need guarantees. You just need to be present, fully present in the now. Many people who go through a spiritual awakening say that once they started living this way, life became lighter, more fluid, and paradoxically, more productive. They began to experience flow, that state where everything just seems to fall into place. You know why? Because they stopped resisting what is. They stopped trying to push the river, and started rowing with it. Now, that doesn't mean the journey becomes a fairy tale, but it does mean that even in the middle of the storm, you stay connected to something greater, and that changes everything. Now, take a deep breath, because here comes the most important part. How do you actually apply all of this, in real, practical ways, to your day? Let's recap. You've understood that control is just an illusion to numb fear. That spiritual intuition is your wisest compass. That spiritual detachment begins with small, daily choices. That the universe's no's aren't always rejections, sometimes they're realignments. And that true transformation happens when you step into active trust. Now, here's a practical challenge. In the next 24 hours, observe a situation that would normally trigger anxiety in you. It could be a delay, a criticism, or a result that didn't come. Instead of reacting, breathe, quiet the mind, and ask yourself, what is the universe trying to show me here? Maybe what you need isn't an answer, it's a new perspective. Because, at the end of the day, the universe never fails. We're just not always listening. And if these words stirred something inside you, I invite you to take the next step on your journey of self-discovery. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can keep walking this path with us. Drop a comment below. What has been your greatest teacher during your awakening? And share this video with someone who's trying to control everything alone. Maybe the universe is trying to speak to them, through you. And if you're ready to go even deeper, watch our next video. Mindfulness Expert reveals secret to a quiet mind. It'll help you understand more about how your reality is shaped by your consciousness. And remember, the day you realize everything is spiritual, your life will change forever. Peace and light.